At different times, I had different phases of the ministry that I was in. I got ready to go into evangelism, or so I thought, and I turned my church over to my spiritual son, and I retired from that pastoring. Well, I got a call almost immediately in a small local church, very poor, wanted me to come and do a little evangelism. I said, okay, that'd be great. I thought, I'm excited, man, it's great. So I decided what I would do is drive out there and walk around the church and take authority over devils and ask God to send souls. And when I got there, the grass was about a little over a foot tall, and the church needed painting real bad. Well, I had a week before I had to go, and I thought, well, maybe I can get out here and paint this thing, but I definitely got to mow this grass. So I got all my lawn equipment, and I went out there and mowed the yard, got it down, looked real nice. So I said, well, I hadn't got enough time to paint, it's just too much. And I went home, and come the time to go to the meeting, I got there, and people started coming in, and they filled the place up pretty good. So we had some good meetings. Well, I thought, you know, the best way for me to go into ministry is I just need to give an offering and ask God to bless me. So I had $100, and that was not everything I had, but it was almost all. So I put it in the bucket. When I got through with 3 days of ministering, several people got saved. The pastor's son got saved, and we got ready to leave out, and I thought the pastor would take me out to eat or something, but he said, all right, I'll see you later, and he handed me a little bag. He said, this is your offering. And he went outside and hopped in his Cadillac and took off, and the associate pastor, he went out and hopped in his Cadillac and he took off. And I said, okay. So I get in my vehicle and I start driving. I said, well, I need to get me a cold drink or something, because my throat's a little hoarse. And I got the bag and opened it up, and I counted the money, and I could not believe it. It was $3.98 for 3 days of preaching. And I just felt this thing come all over me. I said, Lord, I said, if I'd have gone out of town, out of state, got a hotel room, if I had preached for 3 days and I got $3.98, I wouldn't even be able to get back home. I said, you got to be joking me. I said, I thought you wanted me to go into evangelism. Well, I pondered on that and prayed for it that night, and I didn't get anything. But the next morning was amazing. I had a phone call about 9 o'clock, and this real nice, wealthy lady, I haven't told anybody my plans about going to evangelism, and she said, Brother Philip, God told me to support you in your next phase of ministry. And I said, he did? And she said, yeah. And she said, I'm going to start sending you so many dollars a month. I said, praise God. 10 o'clock rolled around. Another wealthy lady called me. She said, Brother Philip, God spoke to me last night and told me to give you some money for your evangelism. And I said, he did? You know, the man of faith, he did? And she said, yes. And she told me how much it was. She said, I'm going to send it to you every month. I said, wow. I mean, before lunch, a third called, and this lady says, very wealthy, she said, Brother Philip, God spoke to me and told me to give you some money for your evangelism. I said, how do you know about that? She said, I don't. God just told me. And I went, okay. She told me how much, and I was excited then. I looked back at the $3.98, and I was fussing at God, and now 3 wealthy people have just called me the very next day telling me they're going to support my ministry. Well, Jesus led about women, wealthy women, and did the ministry, and they helped support the ministry. So they had a bag, and they had money in that bag, and they were able to give money away, and they were able to have plenty of food to eat with Jesus and the 12 disciples, along with the women that went with them. So I looked back at that and I thought, you know, that's not a lot different what God has just done for me. And I went on to evangelism, and It didn't turn out exactly like I thought it was going to do, because I thought I was going to be traveling all over the place. And I will have to tell you what happened next on another day when we got more time. But it was glorious. So you want to go into ministry? Step out in faith. God has spoken to you, and it's time to go. If he has called you, he will support you. God bless you, and go in peace. Bye.